G'day everyone, Rob Booth here from Piglet Music with another tutorial on jazz improvisation. Now if you've seen one or two of my clips before, welcome back. If you're a first time viewer, welcome, and I hope you get something out of today's tutorial. Now today's session will be a little bit more advanced than my previous one, so if you're a beginning jazz student you might want to look at my previous clip called The Fundamentals, and I'll put a link for that below. Now today we're going to look at the minor 2-5-1 progression. I'll give a brief harmonic background to it, we'll look at a few lines and we'll do some playing of course. If at the end of the session you'd like to do a bit more work on the progression, I've got a free regular web page online. It's called Jazz Lick of the Week at Piglet Music, and as the name suggests, there'll be some regular jazz lines to have a look at, a bit of discussion on them and some tracks to play with. If you look at Jazz Lick of the Week number 1, this is in fact on the minor 2-5-1 progression and in the context of Autumn Leaves. Now you'll find there's some PDFs to look at for just about every instrument, including French horn even, they quite often get left out. And of course some backing tracks there with real musicians to play with. So that's Jazz Lick of the Week at Piglet Music. And finally, if you like the method I'm using here today, I have put out a new improvisation book aimed at the medium level jazz student, and there's a lot more detail on this progression in there, as well as some other chords and progressions, and even touching on a little bit of Dixieland. So I'll talk a bit more about that later on. But for now, let's do some playing. Now just a quick note that I will be talking in B flat pitch, but I'll put concert pitch notations on there as well to cover a lot of the other instruments. Now if we take an E harmonic minor scale, that's concert D harmonic minor, but for B flat instruments, E harmonic minor, here it is. And I'll put notations for this up on the screen in a moment. Now if we play those same notes, but start on the second degree of the scale, that's F sharp, so that'll be over the chord 2, we get this sound. So again, I've really only played the notes from the E minor scale, but over the F sharp, and I've got pretty close to making a reasonable sound already. Now if we do the same principle over the B chord, that's over the chord 5, so I'm just going to play the notes from E harmonic minor, but starting on B. So in a nutshell, if you pretty much use the one chord's notes over the 2 and the 5, you'll be off to a good start. Over time of playing around those lines a bit, you'll start to develop some of the knowing which notes work better and start to develop some patterns yourself to make your own sound. Now I'll quickly put up those scale patterns for you for a look, but if you want to go to Jazz Lick of the Week at Piglet Music, you'll find those notations there as PDF downloads, and you can view them and print them there. Now let's look at each chord a bit more closely. So here's 4 2-5-1 patterns in a minor key just to get the sound in your head, and then I'll have a look at a couple a bit more closely. So let's start with the E minor chord, and again I'll just point out that I'll be talking in B flat pitch with added concert pitch written examples. So if you're on an instrument in any other key, maybe just take a moment to write out the examples transposed. There's not too many. Now notice in both of these examples the way I've sort of circled the tonic before hitting it. In the first you've got the 9th, that's the F sharp, the 7th, the D sharp, before arriving at the E. This is a fairly common bebop pattern. The second example more or less does the same. Take note also of the sound of the 9th of the chord. It's a great note in a minor chord to be using. So what I'll do is I'll play the first example and then I'll play the chord again for you to play it over. And now you have a go. And now we'll do the same over the second example. And your turn. So there's a couple of small patterns over the 1 minor chord. Now looking at the 2 chord, which has a 2 minor 7 flat 5 quality. We'll keep it simple but effective. The first simply starts on the minor third and descends. The second is just rhythmically altered, starting 1 note higher. So as with the 1 minor chord, I'll play the first example, and then I'll play the chord again, and you play that line. And now over the second example, I'll play it first and then you follow. And now onto the 5/7 chord. The natural qualities from the key give it a flat 9 sound, and it's really something that you want to get used to using. So for B flat instruments, that flat 9 note is the note C in the B7 chord. A real classic use of this is in the second example, but let's start with the first. So starting on the third of chord 5, which is the leading note in the key, we'll simply just descend one more time. So you should know the drill by now. Let's play it. And here's the second example. Take notice of the third to the flat 9 of the chord as I've circled. Now let's play it. So using those small licks, we'll put them together in a 2-5-1. Here's the first examples put together. I'll play it first. So after the counting, you play it back. Try and memorise it so that it gets locked into your mind a little bit more. And here's the second examples put together. Again, first me and then you have a go. And there's a few 2-5-1s in a minor key for you. It's not enough, obviously, to have you all set to go, but will hopefully give you a bit extra to help you with your jazz practice. The rule book is full of tunes with minor 2-5s, so you'll get plenty of good use out of them. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself and got something out of today's session. Please remember to visit Jazz Lick of the Week at Piglet Music if you'd like to see a few more lines from time to time. That's Jazz Lick of the Week at Piglet Music. And please, you might like to check out my improvisation book. There it is, medium level. You can find that at pigletmusic.com on the website. There you can view some pages and have a listen to some samples. The book's got more minor 2-5-1 progressions from today. There's also major 2-5-1s, there's turnarounds, there's bebop patterns, major 7 chords, even a bit of Dixieland as I mentioned, and only for $11. So a lot of information in that book, and check that out at pigletmusic.com. And please, if you'd like to see upcoming clips as they arrive, subscribe to this clip. And as always, if you do enjoy the clip, please give it a like. That really helps with the life of a YouTube clip. So until then, see you next time.